A CSRA native is now a book author. Earlier, I spoke with Matt Loveland about his book, released last month.
Hey, thanks for having me, Sean.
Alrighty, you recently released a book on the 14th of this month, if I'm not mistaken. So how did you come up with that concept?
Yeah, Sean. So when I was a young life leader and a high school coach, and then I started working with college students, I was always coming across these young men, these young women who they understood sort of the faith aspects of Christianity, but what wasn't making sense to them was the science and the logic. And these are millennials, these are Gen Z. They're not necessarily going to pick up a book by a Michael Behe or even a C.S. Lewis or a Tim Keller. So I wanted to make something that was approachable, something that was pretty short, 200 pages. Something that the average Joe, the high school student, the college student, the mailman, the teacher could pick up and read, and they would get a primer on the logic and the reason behind Christianity.
Yeah, and what has been the feedback so far on your book?
Sean, the feedback has been unbelievable. Seeing this on social media, seeing this just getting shared by old people, by young people, by high school students, by friends of mine in the military, at the Citadel, I have just been so overwhelmed and so blessed by how just the Lord has been working in my life and that the Lord has been working in other people's lives. And it's the conversations it started with people who wouldn't necessarily read, a Christian book. It's made it so worth it. It's been such an amazing experience.
And what is the biggest takeaway you want your readers to know?
I want my readers to know that they matter because they were made, and they were made on purpose by a God that loves them. And when I became a Christian, I was rejecting the irrationality and what I saw, in my opinion, the lack of evidence for atheism. And to me, Christianity was a logical and a scientific one. And that's a message I don't really see getting portrayed in a way that average people could read and understand. So that is why I wrote the book.
And I'm sure that it can be picked up online, maybe your local bookstore. Tell me where we can find it.
Yeah, Sean, you can buy it on Amazon in the Kindle or the paperback. You can buy it on iBooks and Kobo, and it is coming soon to Barnes & Noble. I don't quite yet have a date for that.
And you're big on social media, so where can we find you on social media?
I am. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Matt A. Loveland, and you can also follow me on Medium at the same username.
And Matt, while I have you, is there anything else you care to share about your book or maybe other projects that you're working on in the future?
Yeah, Sean, I would just love to say, man, if you're at home right now and this is a message you believe in, you want the young people in your life, or maybe even the old people in your life, to know that their life matters because God made them. It's a divisive time right now, and I think this is the time for a message that brings us all back to the basics of what we believe, which is that our lives are important because our lives have a purpose, and that's why I wrote the book.
The artist, faith, science, and the rest of us, thank you so much for joining me, Matt. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, Sean. Have a great morning.
You too.